Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. This was for Saturday, and kind of a slow, boring day for the most part, but two things that made me happy from this day. One, I got a wonderful, perfect view from across my table at a long-legged, tall female that wasn't wearing a whole lot in the way of pants. Very, very, very short shorts. And when she sat down and crossed her legs, oh my goodness, just a wonderful view. I said hello to her, but I noticed that she had a husband. I'm guessing was her husband. Came out of the car, and he looked kind of like a broke down Carrot Top. He just was. I looked at both of them. I'm thinking like, okay, he must have a really nice job. He must have a really nice desk job or something, because I don't see I can handle all that. So yeah. I am the kind of person that's very respectful of a married couple, so I tried my best, to be discreet when I was, glancing across, looking up under the table. He wasn't there most of the time. And she was like, I just don't know. Yeah, it was tough not to. It was very, very, very nice to look at. Usually at the flea market, there's not the way of attractive-looking females at the tables. So, yeah, that was a pleasant thing there. Because you're there for 4 or 5 hours, and that helps pass the time when you get a nice looking female around you, and not like usually what you get is like an annoying person that just won't stop talking to you at a table or something like that, like the fishing rod guy. So we're gonna zoom ahead here to the only really notable thing that happened this day, which was the perfect sale. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for the perfect sale. Let me tell you what I think would be the perfect sale. It's not really dollar amount. It's just the interaction and what goes into the perfect sale. I've been trying to, well, not trying really, because if I wanted to try to sell this PlayStation Classic, I would drop it down to what I paid for it, which was $20. I paid $20 for the PlayStation Classic. One component of the perfect sale is making double or more money off of what you invested. In this instance, I wound up selling the PlayStation Classic for $40, which is exactly double of what I put down on it. I was asking $50. I was. And most people that come by that looked at it was thinking it was an actual PlayStation, but then they were disappointed when it didn't take disc, which was the big knock against the PlayStation, the Classic. You can't play the original games. It comes preloaded with games, right? Now, it just so happens these two guys that were coming by there, the one guy was looking for a PlayStation 1, but he looked at it and he was just really blown away that it was so tiny. But the controllers were the regulation controllers, and he had never even seen it. So he had the surprise factor where he's like, when did they make this? This is wow, And he couldn't be more happier with it. And what really drives the perfect sale was me actually selling him on it. Selling him on the fact that I actually added, it came from an LG phone, where Sony, for some reason, they didn't add a AC adapter. Like, how the hell are you going to bring something out and not put in an AC adapter? That's a fail on Sony. I guess it would have cost too much. But, I was actually going over the size of it, how small it was, how they could pretty much, fit it wherever. You could put it in your pocket and take it somewhere and whip it out and play and everything. I went over the games. Some of the games like Rainbow Six, not that great, but I focused on Tekken 3, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil. I focused on a lot of the games, and he was like, yeah, some of the best ever that came from that area. And then I made sure to drive the point home that some of those games on their own, the physical copies, were quite a bit of money. And if he's actually going to collect all those games physically on a PlayStation 1, be several hundreds of dollars. Maybe even, in good condition, all those 20 games in a PlayStation 1 right now, with the current market, maybe even 1,000. So I sold him on the value of that system. I sold him on that and talked to him for about maybe 5 minutes, and that's really all it took. He did ask, looked at me and was like, would you take 50? And it wasn't like, I didn't sense he was really trying to drop me down, for any other reason than, it's part of it, right? Now, I could have held to it. I could have said, 50 or 45. But I looked at him and I said, like, you're probably going to be more jazzed about this than anybody else I see today. So for you, 40. And one reason I wanted to definitely sell it to him for 40 is because he's going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it. He's not going to be somebody that's going to try to, buy it and then, get a table there and try to sell it for 60, $70, the next week. I could tell he was really, really hyped up and really, over the moon about this. So as I sell it to him, I sit back in a chair. I take a couple more glances at those beautiful pair of legs, because for some reason her husband like left, I don't know, or went walking somewhere, I don't know. And then I just reflected on the perfect sale. I'm thinking, man, this guy's gonna take that home and he's just gonna he's gonna have a he's gonna have a ball with that, right? He's gonna really appreciate that. Now, the last time that I got a sale like that was a dollar hat sale, where I saw this guy walking. Saw this guy walking a couple days after I sold that hat to him, and I was like, man, that guy's wearing the hat. He is wearing the hat right now that I sold him a couple days ago. It's all about making people's lives better, and that's what I think goes into the perfect sale. But what about a lot of you that have maybe went to the flea market, sold things, had yard sales? What do you define as the perfect sale?